Hi, it's Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today, book The Berenstain Bears Say Their Prayers from 2008. So let's get started. It was bedtime in the Bear family treehouse. Bedtime after a long busy day. Little Honey Bear was already asleep in her crib. Brother and sister were ready for bed too. They were bathed and they had their pajamas on. Mama and Papa was done reading them their bedtime stories, but there was one last thing to do before they went to sleep. It was time for brother and sister to kneel down beside their bunk bed and say their prayers. Breast Mama, breast Papa, breast Honey Bear, breast Grizzly, Gramp, breast Grizzly Grant, breast Cousin Fred, Uncle Willie, and Aunt Maine. Some evening they added a few more breasts, and like breast our friend Lizzie and Barry, or breast the teacher Jane and teacher Bob. But when they started adding breast Mayor Honeypot and police chief Mama and Papa decided to draw the line. Mama and Papa was falling asleep before the cub prayer was over. Tonight, when Mama and Papa was giving the cubs their goodnight kisses, Brother asked a question. It was a question he had been thinking about for a while. Mama, he said, why do we say our prayers before we go to sleep? I was at Barry's house for a sleepover last week, and he doesn't say prayers at all. Some people just don't believe in saying prayers, said Mama, but we pray at night so we can thank God for the blessing of the day. Do you and Papa always say your prayers before you go to sleep? Asked Sister, half asleep in the upper bunk. Not exactly, said Mama. Those days, Mama and Papa were so tired at bedtime that they just flopped down and was snoring almost before their head hit the pillow. But I think it would be a good idea if we got in the habit again. Mama nudged Papa. Don't you agree, Papa? Huh? He said, trying to stay awake. Oh, right, absolutely. Good night now, said Mama. Sweet dreams, thought Brother, as he drifted off in the sleepy darkness. Mama answer was okay, but he still had a few questions. The next morning, brother and sister was up bright and early in the bright and early. It was Saturday, and they had a little league game. Their team was called the Sharks. They had a cool logo on their shirt, a big shark mouth full of sharp teeth. I feel hot today, said sister, tying her shoes. I feel a whole lot of hits and stolen bases coming on. Oh, yes, snorted brother. What about home run? I guess I'll have to take care of that department. Sir, said sister, punching him in the arm. Brother Bear, the home run king. She ran laughing out of the room, with Brother Bear chasing her. Sister and brother liked playing on the same team, but sometimes they got just little too competition. After breakfast, the whole family headed down to the baseball field. Brother and sister had Patrick before the game. It was Mama and Papa's turn to help with the snack bar. Papa was going to cook the hamburgers and hot dog on the grill. Mama was going to sell candy and popcorn. Even Honey Bear would help out. It was her job to eat the leftover cotton candy. Papa soon had the grill behind the snack bar fired up. Mama opened up the candy stand, and Honey Bear started getting into the cotton candy. The team ran out on the field for Patrick. Brother was playing shortstop, and sister was at second base. Up on the mount, cousin Fred was handled the pitching. Fred was a solid pitcher. but he had been struggling of late. His last two games were pretty shaky. Today, they was up against the Pumas. The Pumas uniform wasn't quite as cool as the Sharks, but the Pumas was one of the best teams in the league. The Sharks would have their work cut out for them. Since the Shark was the home team, the Puma was up first. Their lead-off batter was a big, powerful cub, about twice brother size. He was twisting six bats around his head in the warm-up circle as if they was a bunch of twigs. Uh-oh, said brother. Look who it is. Sister gulped. It was the beast, the Puma best player. He could hit the field and pitch. They didn't know his real name. They just called him the beast. Brother glanced over at Fred on the mount. He had noticed too. He was taking off his hat to wipe his forehead. He looked pretty nervous out there. Play ball, called the ump, and the game was on. The beast picked out a bat from his bunch and stepped into the batter box. He took some warm-up swings and pounded his bat on the plate. He glared at Fred on the mount. Brother noticed that Fred wasn't glaring back. In fact, he was standing quite still, his head bowed and his hand folded. It looked like his eyes was closed, and his lips seemed to be moving. Psst, Fred called brother. What's up? But Fred didn't answer. He straightened up, took a deep breath, and went into his windup. He fired a fastball that was a shush and a thump. The beast had missed. Strike one, called the imp. Way to go, Freddie, baby, yelled brother. That's the way to pitch them in there. Just two more like that, you can do it. It was short. It was a sort of thing you always yell to encourage the pitcher. But did brother really believe that Freddie baby could do it? It turned out that Freddie baby could. There was another shush and another thump. Strike two, yelled the imp. Another shush and another thump. Strike three, called the imp. You're out. The batter had gone down, swinging. The crowd in the stand cheered. The beast kicked the dirt in disgust as he chugged back to the dugout. Fred didn't look nervous anymore. Now it was the batter's turn to look nervous. Fred threw six more fastballs to two more batters. There was six swish and six thump. Cousin Fred had struck out the side. That was some pitching, Fred, said brother later on as they sat on the bench waiting to go up to bat. Thanks, said Fred, but there was something else on brother's mind. I was wondering, Fred, began brother, what were you doing out there with your head down like that? Oh, shuddered Fred, a little embarrassed. I was just praying. Praying, said brother in surprise. What were you praying for? Strikeouts. Before Fred could answer, it was his turn to bat. He trotted out of the dugout, leaving brother still wondering. By the end of the game, Papa had cooked 33 hamburgers and 47 hot dogs. Mama had sold 3 dozen lollipops and 4 boxes of chocolate bars, and Honey Bear was very, very sticky. The Sharks were in a sticky spot too. There was behind by 1 run, with 2 outs and a man on base. The man was Sister. She had gotten to first on a walk, then stowed in second. She was a feisty little player. Now it was Brother's turn to bat. If he could get a hit, the Sharks might tie it. If he got a home run, they would win. The Puma pitcher was no other than the Beast. As he walked up to the plate, Brother felt a little sick. Talk about pressure. Brother, no, before he stepped out into the batter box, Brother decided to do something he had never done in a baseball game. He bowed his head, closed his eyes, and said a prayer. Dear Lord, he prayed, let me get a hit. Feeling a little more confident, Brother stepped up to the plate. The beast wind up and let it fly. Brother didn't even see it. Strike one, called the ump. Brother gripped the bat tighter. He got the next one. Another scorching, screaming pass. Strike two, called the ump. Brother clenched his teeth. He was definitely not going to let the next pitch get past him. The beast wound up. The ball flew, and Brother swung hard. Shush, thump. Strike three, brawled the ump. You're out. The game was over. The Cirque had lost, and Brother had struck out. Way to go, Home Run King, shouted Sister in disgust. She was angry that all her effort to get on base had gone to waste. Brother chugged back to the dugout. His head hung low. He had never felt so awful in his life. Later, he picked up his things. He found Fred standing next to him. Don't let it get you. Wait, don't let it get to you, brother, said Fred. That was a tough game. The Pumas are a good team. Yeah, argued brother. I tried everything. I even tried praying like you did when you struck out the beast, but it didn't work for me. Really, said Fred. What did you pray for? I prayed for a hit, naturally, said brother. Oh, said Fred, rubbing his chin. I see. Why, asked brother, what did you pray for? I did pray that I wouldn't get too scared, said Fred simply. Brother blinked at him. I guess your prayer was answered. Prayers are always the answer, said Fred. Sometimes we just don't get the prayer we expect. Say, he added, sniffing the air. Do you smell something burning? That when they noticed the column of a thick black smoke rising from behind the stand. The snack bar, they both yelled and ran for it. The smoke was coming from a batch of burning hot dogs on the grill. Papa was covered with soot and was trying to put the fire out with his hat. Mama came running up with a fire extinguisher. A few good squirts, and the flames was under control. Honey Bear was laughing and clapping. Boy, coughed Fred, waving the smoke away. Maybe we should have prayed for the rain. That evening, at bedtime, brother and sister kneeled down beside their bunk bed to say their prayer. Tonight they felt like a nice long one. Brett's mama, Brett's papa, Brett's honey bear, Brett's goody gramp, Brett's goody grant, Brett's cousin Fred, Uncle Willie, Aunt Minnie, Brett's our friend Lizzie and Barry, and Brett's teacher Bob and when they was finished, brother and sister woke up Mama and Papa and climbed into bed. Mama and Papa kissed them goodnight, turned out the light, and went down the stairs. As brother lay drowsily in his bed, he started thinking over the day baseball game. If only he had been able to get that hit or even a home run. That was a tough game today, wasn't it? He said to sister up on the top bunk. Yeah, answered sister. Tough on you, Mr. Strikeout King. What's that supposed to mean? Said brother, glaring up at the bottom of her bunk. I prayed my best. A strikeout like that could happen to anyone. But sister didn't answer. She was fast asleep. Brother rolled over and ground his teeth. Sometimes Sister Bear made him so angry he could just... But then he thought of something. He thought of another prayer. Dear God, he prayed, please help me out with my little sister. And to his surprise, he found his prayer had been answered. He didn't feel angry anymore. Thanks for the help up there, he said, and with a sigh, he fell asleep. So that was the Berenstain Bears say their prayers from 2008. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a groovy day. We'll know video coming out real soon.